I'm gonna just jump into this before Darlene get here. I gotta ask y'all something, everybody who into sports, because people who into sports might be able to chime in on this, especially who watch ESPN Network. Listen, who do y'all think is the biggest coconut? I call it coconut because my brother Willie D said it's brown on the outside but white inside. Who do y'all think is the biggest coconut on ESPN? Who's the biggest coconut?
Graham Cracker.
It's between Stephen A. Smith and this girl named Malika Andrews.
I don't know who Malika is, but I definitely believe Stephen A. Smith. If somebody go harder than Stephen A. Smith, boy, they got to be cold, man.
Well, listen to what I'm finna tell you, little bro. It's this broad on ESPN named Malika Andrews, and this is a black man hater.
Yeah.
She don't like black people. And I be so worried about one of my guys. I call him one of my guys. It's a guy that I got love for, Jalen Rose. When he be up there, because he do a TV show with her, the NBA broadcast. But this is what happened with Malika Andrews. This Jalen Rose, good nigga, got too happy with the heifer and gave her a hug while they was on the broadcast. When he hugged the funky, she said on TV, "Get your hand out of my armpit."
Now, I was holding back on covering this story because I wanted to get the details right on what happened.
Your finger out of my armpit. We're just happy to see Jalen Rose welcoming in.
So she pulls away from him and pushes him a little bit.
Best hair in television. Get your finger out of my armpit. We're just happy to see Jalen Rose.
Hand was nowhere close to her armpit.
Was welcoming in the man with the best hair in television. Get your
Okay, so see his hand right there, and it's a little side hug.
Finger out of my armpit.
Okay.
Get your finger out of my armpit.
Okay, so she's making the claim live on air that he needs to get his finger out of her armpit. When I look at it, there's several things to see. Is that you also see Richard Jefferson back there. Could it be possible maybe Richard Jefferson put his hand on her some kind of way while he was doing the hug and Jalen got blamed for it? Is that what's happening? But to make this claim live on the air and it doesn't constitute some type of harassment is problematic. And with someone with the history of Malika Andrews, if Jalen Rose is truly someone that you care for, because he mentions this later in one of his clips, in one of his live streams where he goes explaining how this story is been fabricated by online gossip sites. If it is indeed someone that you know and care for, why would you even say that to put them in a bad position? Because it doesn't look good. This is why, fellas, you got to keep your hands to yourself in work environments. Now, I respect Jalen Rose. I grew up watching his national championship run with the Fab Five, part of my childhood, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful. I don't care if this is your friend, your sister, your cousin on national TV in a work environment. An accusation like that levied at a man in a work environment is going to get you in a lot of trouble. And I think she knew that saying what she said. I don't know what kind of banter and fun stuff they had, before the show, but this wasn't a good look. This wasn't a good look.
Get your finger out of my armpit.
Get your finger out of my armpit.
And so we know Malika Andrews, this channel has covered her accusations levied at black men in particular. Let's hear what Jalen has to say about it.
Let me turn it down a little bit for a second. Some people don't address things head on because it may be good for their ego, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something loud and clear, and I even turned on the music for this one. Malika Andrews is like my little sister. She from the Bay. Like my other sister, Amina Hussein, who's a producer at Amazon that's like my sister, that worked at ESPN that got me on NBA Countdown. And let me tell y'all something that's very, very direct and clear, so ain't no gray area. First off, you damn right I hug my sister, because I'm a real one, I'm a boss, and I'm a G. Next, I didn't put my finger under her armpit. If you look at the picture, I only got 4 fingers and 1 thumb, and they on her shoulder. Number 2, I ain't get fired from ESPN for doing that.
Okay, so he hasn't been fired.
So, like, the sites that's been running with that, gaming y'all.
Well, wait a minute. He said he hasn't been fired for that. But has he been fired? That's the question.
Gotta pay attention to the sites that's running with that stuff. The site that posted that, you ready for this? It's called Nutsack Sports. That ain't legit. It's called Butt Crack Sports. That ain't legit. Like, I hate that there's some like low-hanging fruit people out there that y'all really like. I wasn't gonna even address it. I'm sorry, BK, my social media guy. He told me to leave that alone. Don't give it no energy. But like, it's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? That's my sister, literally.
But now with that context, we can still see why Corey wanted to address this. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
And everybody saw his hand wasn't under the armpit.
She tried to.
But she did this on TV.
Oh
Not
man. She tried to get home.
when it's time to go to commercial. Hey, Jalen, I feel like you put your hand under my armpit.
Yeah, that would've been
Everybody
right.
saw he didn't do that.
Yeah.
Everybody saw it. This
That would've been
funky
only-
bitch always finding a way to shoot the original man down.
So yeah, that was Corey weighing in on it. But I wonder if this brings up a bigger discussion on what we need to do as black men, in particular in corporate environments, and men in general in corporate environments. One allegation, although Jalen claims this didn't get him fired from ESPN. Maybe something else could have got him fired from ESPN. We don't know if he's fired from ESPN. He seems to be taking on some other ventures as far as like, independent stuff and, show on AMP radio. But what we need to learn about this man is that the line is so thin on what you can and cannot do without receiving an allegation. Like he said, that's his sister. He's got familiar with her. But does he know her intentions with just throwing away, get your hand out of my armpit? It's such a fine line, such a sensitive line for us, a tightrope for us to walk, that people that really care for us should not be even indicating that. I'll tell you a personal story. I was doing a play a while back, and I noticed that there was a group of people who, for whatever reason, didn't like me. I was the only black man there. And they decided that to spin a certain narrative about me. So fine. It was fine for them to do that. But what really bothered me was when a black woman started chiming in along with them. So I pulled her to the side and I spoke to her as a older actor to a younger actress. And I said, do you know what that type of allegation, even in jest, can do to a black person, a black man or woman in this case? I was like, why would you do that? There's no proof of anything that I've done anything inappropriate. But for some reason, you pick this narrative up. When I tell you, taking that moment to speak to, as Jalen said, his little sister, she was stuck to me like glue. Because you just hope that by expressing the sensitive nature of your employment, that you will be able to get somebody to be like, yeah, that wouldn't be right. I thought it was just a playful thing, but at the same time, I can see where you're coming from as the only black man of a certain age around here. So yeah, anyway, it's an interesting topic. I think we need to talk more about these things because as many instances that we've pointed out of Malika Andrews speaking only about black men in a negative manner and somehow avoiding speaking about men of other races, we got to be aware. We got to be aware of the situation and how it's going to be. You know, we got to be aware of the optics and how you can ruin someone's career in an instant, even if you didn't intend to. Now, we don't know. Maybe her and Richard Jefferson have a joke about fingers in armpits, but that was not the time for it. This is all alleged. I don't want to put it on Richard Jefferson, and Jalen just didn't say anything. But if Jalen Rose is separated from ESPN in the future, and he doesn't believe it was this moment, sorry to inform him, that was probably a contributing factor. Might have been the nail in the coffin if they were already on the way from parting ways with you. You understand? But anyway, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. This is Faucette Media.